What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Kusama. Kusama's out of the top 100. I mean, it was going to happen sooner or later, I guess, but in terms of some drops in price, but goddamn, like 113th in the market cap. I still think Kusama's got huge gains to come for the next bull cycle, but they do have to focus a little more on development. There was one mistake I felt regarding Polkadot and Kusama over the past sort of couple of years that I want to talk about and highlight, because if that mistake is made again, I think it will minimize the gains that both those sort of coins can have. Also, another sort of payment solution or crypto payment system and have minimized withdrawals. The fallout from the FTX scenario will always, but I've said this for ages, it's going to continue for a couple of years, so I'll talk about that. And it should be a stark reminder for everyone to not leave funds on exchanges. Before I get into it though, guys, if you are new to this channel, these are the first 26 coins that I spoke about when I made this channel. I also owned them as well. Had you put in just $100 into each of those coins when I released videos about them, and then you ignored them for 2 years, you did everything wrong as an investor. Because remember, when you invest, you're meant to actually at some point sell your investments to make profit, and if your investments are massively up, you should be selling them. But if you'd sat on them, ignored them for 2 years, you'd still be in profit for around 8 grand doing everything wrong. Now, as I said, you should have sold last year, or certainly back end of 2021. If you had $100 into each, a $2,600 investment would have netted you a profit of 123 grand. That's what I did. I sold all these off. These are not the coins I own. If you want to see my current portfolio, you can go to copymycrypto.com. There's a link above me, and there's a clickable link in the description. On that site, I share my portfolio. I release videos on a daily basis talking about the markets. I give the members real-time updates anytime I buy or sell a coin. I have tutorials set up for beginners. These are step-by-step tutorials. And on top of that, we have a history of success on both the channel and the site. They're public record. You know, no one in 2020 was talking about Phantom. I did a Udemy course called The Best Cryptocurrency Investment of 2020. It was about Phantom. Said it would 100x or more. It did nearly 700x. So if you'd have put in $1 grand, you'd have been able to obviously buy a very nice house. But $2 grand, you'd have netted 1.34 million in profit. Now, I'll find another Phantom, but when I do, I'm going to go onto my site instead of doing a Udemy course. I'll go onto my site, I'll tell my members about it, I'll tell them what gains I think it can have, and I'll tell them what percentage of my money I'm putting in there. And they can copy along and make the same gains. If that interests you and you don't want to keep diving into coins and doing the research, you want to take the work out of it for yourself, then go check the site out now, guys. The link is above me and there's one in the description. Right, Kusama. Kusama's priced at $26.40. It actually reached lows this past sort of week or so of $22. So it's actually, you know, pretty nice buy points. I would make the argument it's probably still nice now. Most of the supply is out as well. So if you're unfamiliar, Kusama is the canary network for Polkadot. Kusama is the experimental chain for Polkadot. Anything that's going to arrive on Polkadot is tested and experimented on the Kusama network and on any parachains attached to the Kusama network. Now, their whole principle is about scalability and interoperability. So they want, and same with Polkadot, every chain to be able to be connected. And the premise quite simply is, look, for the evolution of blockchains, the evolution of Web3, the evolution of what will be the new internet, the new way, the new systems in place, the new DLTs, everything, they need to all be connected. And if you can connect all these blockchains together, you open up every possible avenue to everyone to profit. That's basically the premise. Is you know, if you can get DeFi token or DeFi protocols that work on multiple different blockchains, any retail investor can find the best opportunity to make profit and to benefit from it. Now, Kusama is the network built for risk taking. It's the fast-moving canary in the coal mine for its cousin, Polkadot. It's a living platform built for change agents to take back control, spark innovation, and disrupt the status quo. Kusama, founded by the same people behind Polkadot, Gavin Wood et al. And look, the beauty of Polkadot, beauty of Kusama, the fees are low. The networks are highly scalable, and if you do any parachain that is one, usually have a 2-year contract, where they hold that parachain slot for a couple of years and gives networks or protocols or projects, whatever, the opportunity to be funded and to work with the team behind Kusama, behind Polkadot, and start trying to grow the project. And you've got 2 years to really sort of get a foothold on the network. And if you can do that, then you've got a project that's going to probably do rather well. Now, the concern, or not the concern, really, the problem that I have or the mistake I think that was made by Kusama, by Polkadot, I suppose, was the parachain auctions. There was such a heavy focus of parachain auctions throughout sort of 2021, 2022, that I didn't feel Kusama and Polkadot really fully capitalized on the potential of that sort of bull cycle. There wasn't heavily used dApps being developed on Polkadot or Kusama in the same way that there were on, your Ethereum, your Binance, Smart Chains, your Cosmos, we weren't seeing the sort of that boom in terms of dApp development, in terms of systems in place that people thoroughly used. Actually, I think of sort of Polkadot and Kusama, I think probably the thing that was most utilized off of memory would have been Polkastarter, because obviously we had that huge surge of, I guess you call it ICO. It was effectively 2018's ICO phase again, or 2017-18's ICO phase again, under a different name, under a different presentation. There's the incubator. It's the year of incubators. It was the year of IDOs, IEOs, and they got a lot of volume. They got a lot of volume over 2021, but in terms of dApps, we were limited really for Polkadot and for Kusama. So I would want to start seeing real growth in the used dApps. I want to see that we're starting to have DeFi protocols that are really heavily used. I want to see games that are really heavily used. I want to see that there's big appeal for retail investors in terms of some of the projects that are built upon Kusama, that are built upon Polkadot. And if we see that over the next couple of years, then I do think we'll see it will almost guarantee the growth for your Kusamas and your Polkadots. Now, I still think Kusama can run back up to $500 relatively easily. That would pretty much put it at a market cap of around 40 billion. 4 billion, my brain. 4 billion market cap for the Canary network of Polkadot is not that big. It's not. It could be a lot higher, and I'm probably being really really conservative. Well, I'm probably being conservative saying 500. I think, but the key thing for me again is DApp development. The key thing is that retail users of there are protocols, there are DApps, that are being used by retail investors. If the retail crowd don't come into it, I think there'll be limits to the growth in the next bull cycle. And Kusama and Polkadot have so much going for them. You know, they're under the umbrella of effectively the Web3 Foundation. The Web3 Foundation have done so many millions of dollars worth of grants to projects that are building upon Kusama, building upon Polkadot. So they've got funds behind them to really continue growing and pushing and developing. All of that is really, really bullish for me, but I do want to see dApps start flocking in, and I'm not seeing that at the moment. $500, I think, still achievable. If they have a flurry of dApps built that people use, you know, we could see 1,000 feasibly. Kusama is still, you know, still the experimental chain. There's the excitement around Kusama is there because that's where you can play. That's where you can start having some fun. Trying to enjoying the experiments of DeFi or enjoying the experiments of dApps. And if they're successful, they'll end up on Polkadot anyway. So you'll have profited prior to Polkadot's integration. But yeah, DApp-wise, I do feel they could have pushed more. I just think there was a little too much of a focus on the parachain auctions. They ended up taking up a lot of the focus for 2021. And I'd like to see less of that for both Kusama and Polkadot over the next bull cycle. But we're way away from the next bull cycle, like I say, 2024. But what do you guys think? Do you think I'm being really harsh saying 500? Do you think I'm being overly generous? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you're a returning viewer, hit the subscribe button. It helps the channel. The videos will make you money. And, you know, if I'm talking about a coin that I'm not a fan of, it will save you money. So don't miss them. And if you want to see the coins that I own, guys, you can go to copymycrypto.com. That is where I share my portfolio. That is where I give the members real-time updates anytime I buy or sell a coin. That's where I release videos on a daily basis talking about the markets to the members. We have tutorials set up. These are step-by-step because we've got thousands of members and a lot of them haven't invested before. So these tutorials help them along the way with crypto. And guys, we have a history of success on public record. You can go onto Udemy. You can see that there is a course titled The Best Cryptocurrency Investment of 2020. That is my course. I've only made one ever. And it was all about Phantom and the fact that Phantom would 100x. I will find the next Phantom or the next coin that can do 100x or more. And when I do, I'm going to go to my site. Instead of a Udemy course, just straight onto my site, tell my members all about the coin, tell them what I think it can do, tell them the gains I think it can have, tell them the percentage of my money I'm putting in. And if they want to copy, they can do, and they can make the same gains I do. If that interests you and you really do want to just take the work out of your investing life, then go to the site, read through it, and remember that you can verify everything said on that site on the YouTube channel's history. And last thing, guys, Wire. So Wire is like a crypto payments firm, and they've implemented withdrawal limits for user accounts, citing the best interest of our community. They're modifying their withdrawal policy and they're limiting withdrawals to no more than 90% of the funds currently in each customer account. So the daily withdrawal limits are 5 Bitcoin, 50 Ethereum, as well as 20,000 in USDC or DAI. And the daily fiat limits on withdrawals include 150 grand in dollars. This is their plan to effectively they're weighing up multiple options, but this is their plan to support Wire to minimize the impact of crypto winter upon the firm. I really do hate the term crypto winter. It just sounds like an excuse to try and, I don't know, sexy up what the phrase bear cycle. Use some Game of Thrones term. But look, this is, again, you know, we're going to see this multiple times, whether it's an exchange, whether it's a payments system, whatever it is, we're going to see this. And I just want to sort of consistently reiterate, guys, Celsius, BlockFi, Voyager, FTX, just four of the companies that stopped users withdrawing. Just four of the four firms where users lost their funds because they kept them on these platforms. You are responsible for your crypto, guys, and if your funds are all on exchanges and that exchange goes down and you don't get your funds, with the greatest of respect to everyone out there, now, from this point on, there is no excuse for leaving funds on exchanges, because fundamentally, we've seen 4 exchanges go down in the past just year alone. You know it can happen. Always be safe, guys. There's no excuse. Don't let that happen to you. Don't let any exchange that BS's you take your investments. Think long term, guys. And yeah, just don't get caught up in the next exchange that goes down, because there will be more. And that's it for me. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.